followed by Roy Ward.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Erin Wilcox. I live at 228 North 4th Avenue. I'm a writer, editor, and late performance artist. I'm here today as a guest reader for the performance art project called Tucson the Novel, an experiment in literature and civil discourse, which is supported by the Arizona Commission on the Arts. Reading number 28. This week, we continue the story of Alex Alexander, an activist and restaurant owner working for the preservation of Tucson Hill, which has been purchased by a land developer named Eric Emerald. Alex's activist arch rival is Hiram Dexter, a local property rights lawyer. Tonight, the City Council was scheduled to vote on the master development plan for Tucson Estates, the luxury shopping mall and stuccoed condos that would compose Eric Emerald's latest and most egregious raid into the desert. Hiram Dexter's legal brief would undoubtedly demand that the state of Arizona sue the city of Tucson for failing to allow a landowner to put the property to highest and best use. Highest and best having been defined by the good old boys who ran the Arizona Territory 114 years ago as either constructing buildings or grazing cattle. The council was spineless when it came to the threat of lawsuits. Their mouse-like city attorney was always telling them they'd lose. Business at Alice's restaurant wasn't great. As usual, the defenders of Tucson were the only people in the place, and they just drank coffee. Sometimes on payroll days, there wasn't enough left in the bank to cover Alice's check. When the meeting ended with no new customers having wandered in, she closed the restaurant and went home, bringing her stress along. The trouble with Hiram Dexter was his wicked intelligence. If he weren't bipolar, he'd have been wildly successful. In his manic phases, he drew in fresh allies, tea partiers who slobbered over his blog posts on the insidious relationship between radical environmentalism and the endangerment of Christianity. They wrote letters to the editors. They testified at Board of Supervisors meetings. They drove to Phoenix to lobby the governor. Over the years, Alice's character had been subject to all manner of personal attacks initiated by Hiram Dexter and his minions. At a West Side Neighborhood Association meeting in 1999, he laughed aloud at Alice's comments about the need to preserve the ancient Native people's walking paths that crisscrossed the Tucson parcel. He called her a pagan heterophobe. In response, she'd exposed her armpit to him, knowing the sight of the gray tuft growing there would send him into a state.
Roy Ward. You're followed by Eric Smith.